So today I'm out here and the question I'll be asking is the gender pay gap real?
Yes, it is. Men get paid more for whatever they do, and women get less for doing the same amount.
Totally agree with that.
I'm pretty sure this guy is simping for the girl next to him because he fears that the girl might disagree with him with anything and she will stop being his friend. I don't think they are in a relationship, they're probably just friends, and I think the guy just wants to be more than friend. Or he just doesn't think the pay gap just exists and he's speaking in favor of women to please his female companion. Because it looks like she's the dominant one in the relationship between the two, judging by her confident body language and the man's shrimpish body posture. Truth of the matter is, I've never seen pay difference for people's gender. It is literally illegal to pay people differently because of their gender. I would actually like to see a company get away with this. If someone proposes this argument, I would like to see them show the paperwork and see a company get away with a corporate crime. Now, the only reason that two people with the same position have different pay is the time spent in the position. If a guy was the office manager for 10 years, it is no surprise that he will be making more money than a person working in the same position for only 1 year. People pulling up that argument that two genders doing the same job getting paid differently usually filter out the fact that men spend more time in the position, but they're biased, so they like to ignore that fact so they can waste time and argue. And by the way, subscribe to my channel. I upload 2 to 3 times a week now since I just finished an exam, and yeah, subscribe.
Do we have a woman president yet?
No, but what do you think that has to do with like the pay gap?
There's highly opinionated male energy. We have been deprived of our abilities to express world peace.
What are some rights that men have that like women don't then?
Oh, that's a really...
So just because we don't have a female president, the system is against women? So to debunk her first point about a female president, the only one that was closest to becoming the female president was Hillary Clinton, as far as I know. However, she was horrific at literally everything. Marketing, debating, and merit. Everything a person needs to be a president, she lacked. Her main selling point was that she will be the first female president of the country. Like, how is that going to solve foreign tension? If Vladimir Putin wants to nuke Ukraine, will he stop because United States finally has a female president? Solving global problems and being a female are two different things. They have no relevance. Jen points out that this has no relevance to the pay gap, and she goes on to keep talking about how global politics needs a female president, which again, no relevance. It was getting to nowhere, so he has to change the question to a more simple one for her to answer, which is what right a man has that a woman doesn't. And she got nothing to say because she just realized how clueless she is.
Where I work, I don't see it, but in general, looking at other friends in other industries and then knowing what they're making in comparison to what their peers are making, it's real.
Where I work, I don't see it, but your friends experience it for some reason. I'm pretty sure her friends are just like the first girl, where they filter out the important information and details as to why people get paid differently for the same role, because seniority gets paid more, and that's just a fact. The more time you spent, the more you're gonna get paid. Then they go on and tell their friends this misinformation, and girls like this chick becomes even more clueless.
Despite potential flaws in the study, there's been undeniable progress made by women, as 40% of women now make more than the median male compared to just 13% 40 years ago. But with incidents like the US women's soccer team's lawsuit for equal pay, tensions surrounding gender and inequality are higher than ever.
We've filled stadiums, we've broken viewing records, and yet despite all of this, we're still paid less than our male counterpart.
Megan Rapinoe, aka Female Ninja, this woman is actually ruthless and cunning. I say that because she doesn't strive for equal pay. She just wants to make a salary and take the soccer federation's cut of the profit as well, and the men's profit as well. Let me tell you how men get paid. They get a contract and they get paid percentage of their yearly contract per game. Now, as for women, if they don't play, they still get paid. This became super obvious when COVID-19 kicked in and games were cancelled. Imagine not working at all and still get paid for it just because you're a woman. As for guys, they they didn't get paid. And some male soccer players had financial struggles because of it. You can go and look into her details. I tried finding a video about her admitting that she does not want to be paid like men, but couldn't find it because the search engine sucks.
Like for me and for some of my girlfriends, we had to personally push for like a promotion. Whereas we have a coworker who's just like, oh yeah, he offered this promotion to me. So that's just one example from like myself.
Oh yeah, she wonders why she didn't get the promotion versus her coworker that supposedly got offered the position. Let's just take her word for it and say what she says is 100% accurate without bias. Let's look at her, bad hair color, and wear fashion style with a unbuttoned top on the shorts, and it rides all the way up to her cooter. I'm pretty sure they're gonna smell in the hot weather. I can tell that she's a young girl that doesn't take care of herself in the sense of looking professional. If I was an owner of a company, I would much rather promote a person that is presentable. If you go to an establishment and you see a girl with bad hair color as the general manager, what is your impression of the establishment? This is my business, my well-being, my livelihood. Why would I promote someone that lacks presentation when first impressions are one of the most important things in the business? So it's obvious this girl has no clue what makes a person desirable in a professional setting. And it also doesn't help that she has friends feeding her false ideas, hindering her growth. Luckily, not everyone is lost. This guy has some common sense.
Do you think then that there are some industries where women have an advantage in versus there are some industries where men make more because there's more of a general interest in it?
Sports is a big thing for men. Male athlete competitions are more favored by the public.
Look at the NBA, for example. Like the WNBA doesn't get as much streamings as the NBA does because of this whole cycle of sexism.
So I guess it's also based on demand, wouldn't you say?
We live in a capitalist society, and therefore we value people's worth on demand. And that's
in that instance, wouldn't taking into account be the most fair way and the most meritocratic way to determine who gets paid the most or least?
Yeah, that is based on demand, and more companies will get paid depending on how good the product there is, and that hence kind of what products are popular now, modern days,
There you go. The dude has brains and the chick doesn't. It's common that people with rare skill can negotiate for higher pay, which is why top athletes make more money. I've been practicing baseball for years and I can only throw 70 miles per hour at my peak. Then there are guys that are born to throw 90 miles an hour, something that takes decades of training, and with some practice, they can end up throwing in the hundreds of miles, 100 miles plus. But these athletes are mega rare, which is why they make millions. This woman in the clip believes that the reason women athletes make less than male athletes is because people are sexist. That is her claim without giving any reason or proof. Here's the deal. I'm sure women on elite teams can beat the average guy, but elite male athletes will obliterate woman athlete. I believe there was a case where a female tennis player thought she could beat a famous male tennis player, but when they did finally get to play against each other, his serve was so fast, the game was literally unplayable. Hell, even Serena Williams admits that she won't go against men because they're so much faster and stronger. It's like a different sport.
For me, tennis and men's tennis and women's tennis are completely almost two separate sports. So I'm like, if I were to play Andy Murray, I would lose 6-0, 6-0 in 5 to 6 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, because it's true. It's true. It's a completely different sport. The men are a lot faster, and they serve harder, they hit harder. It's just a different game, and I love to play women's tennis, and I only want to play girls because I don't want to be embarrassed. I would not do the tour.
You see, she's realistic to herself. She doesn't think she is perfect, which is why she always works on her strength, which is why she is the best female player in the world, and it is also why she is so damn hot. I'm sure she works out, and yeah, she does a good job. For the women that are blaming men as to why women athletes are making less, let me educate you. Common economics, supply and demand. People want to see the highest vertical, highest exit velocity, backflips, and 200 plus pound guys running at 25 miles an hour. If you watch the WNBA, it's literally women missing layups. And if you ask women to name 5 WNBA players, they can't do it. They just can't do it because Because why? You don't watch the WNBA. Even women thinks the WNBA is boring, and they go on to say that men are sexist because they don't watch the WNBA. No, the WNBA is just boring, and I can't believe that Brittany Griner has the nerve to ask Mark, the billionaire, to put her on the Mavericks. But who knows? People just want to make more money. You can't blame her for that. And watching women missing layup is not entertaining. I don't want to watch a game equivalent to a high school level. Like, shit, even the US or the Australian female soccer team lost to high school boys. Why would anyone invest time in watching a soccer team that is below a high school level?
Why do you think women are underrepresented in certain positions that are very desirable at the moment, such as STEM jobs, as well as even executive jobs in general?
It's not that they're not getting the opportunities. They have to apply to these jobs. I'm a network engineer. I'm a plant engineer. I work outside. Women can't just start from here and go to there. But we are seeing that. If women get into jobs that are men dominated, you actually have an opportunity to move up. This is going to take time. This just started happening. People have to get positions and you have to stay in those positions.
That is the case. Most STEM workers are men. I used to work in a hospital where it does administrative work, and it is literally filled with 80 women and 4 guys. The 2 were doctors, and the other 2 were me and a guy doing admin work. Women choose to work in health, men choose to work for engineering, and many other crappy jobs that women will not do. I think throughout my whole life, I only saw one female construction worker in person. She was jacked, but she was still weak as hell because she needed some guy to help carry some bags of cement. Okay, ladies, if you believe in the wage gap, how about if you work in a sewer repair job? And if you still get paid differently, I'll side with you. But these statistics that talk about how women make 70 cents to the $1 compared to men are actually biased and is popularized by media and women that are too clueless to do research on the internet to realize that when they make these stats, they are comparing a male banker to a female barista. Another example, they compare a male software engineer to a front desk associate. It's not a fair comparison. And now you have all these money-thirsty, idiotic women that believe that they are being taken advantage of.
Let's say 2 people working at Home Depot, one biological male, one biological female. The biological female can lift way more than the biological male. I will pay the biological female way more.
Do you think that's happening in a macro way in certain jobs? Men are performing better, and vice versa.
I believe what happens is you come in and they say, okay, men and female lifting forklift, okay, female doesn't work here. You wouldn't even get to the point of the interview to get to find out about this. Women are portrayed as weaker, so it's way easier to just push like, no, you don't need more money.
Okay, according to this woman's logic, women are not given the opportunity to prove that women are equal, if not superior to them. Well, Karen, let me tell you this. In the athlete space, there are male division and woman division, and an easy way to gauge the comparison is by looking at the records from the best. We will use the deadlift record for example, since we're talking about lifting weights. Tamara Walcott, a chick jacked beyond the realms of humanity. Deadlift record was 639 pounds, something that a few of my friends could actually do. Pretty rare skill to have, but a few people that I physically know could do. And now let's compare it to the strongest deadlift from a man named Oleksiy Novikov, which is 1,210 pounds. Wow, 639 versus 1,210. That is almost double. I didn't even think it would be that far apart when I searched this up. Shit, it isn't even comparable. Well, Karen, it seems you are wrong time and time again. I don't think I'm going to take you seriously anymore. So, to commemorate your false allegations towards men and claiming that they are sexist, I will assume that you are an idiot. And unlike you, I have evidence in this video to prove that you're an idiot beyond repair. And with that being said, I've said enough. Subscribe to my channel if you like these videos. I just finished my exam, so yeah, I think I'm gonna go back to being consistent with my uploads. Subscribe to my channel if you like these videos, and yeah, big claps.